Warning, this content may be disturbing to some audiences. Subscribe, if you dare. That every UFO that has been reported is actually a part of one of the government's black budget secret programs. Hey everybody, welcome to ANECDOSED. People ask Reddit. What is the scariest conspiracy theory if true? Number 1. Commenter. That Planet X is real, orbits like a comet and so enters the solar system at infrequent intervals, and is home to intelligent life that's affected past human civilizations. Person B. Planet X is a hypothesized additional body within the solar system, although it is too far off to be detectable through conventional means. The main bit of evidence used is gravitational anomalies that would only be possible with a massive body off in the solar system. Assuming Planet X to be real, the most likely explanation would be that it is a failed star, since most solar systems are double-starred. Number 2. Commenter. That aliens are already here on planet Earth, and they aren't extraterrestrial beings but extra-dimensional beings. Comes from a guy who called in at a radio show some years ago claiming to be a former employee at Area 51. The guy sounds very distressed and sounds like he is speaking some truth. I should also point out that a guy called the radio show weeks later claiming to be the Area 51 caller saying it was all a hoax, but apparently his voice didn't sound like the original caller at all. Person B. Theoretically possible. Mathematically we know higher dimensions exist, it is possible that creatures exist in them. Some people believe that ghosts/angels/demons/etc. are just higher dimensional beings which we have managed to glimpse from time to time when they interact with our world. If they exist at all, that seems the most plausible explanation to me, although I don't really buy it. Person C. I think the extra-dimensional thing makes more sense than aliens being from other planets. Look up 1994 Zimbabwe UFO incident for probably the most plausible UFO sighting/alien encounter ever documented. The fact it happened to children, and a group of around 20 of them, lends a whole lot of credibility to the account. If you look further into what they say, they report that the aliens gilded instead of walked and appeared/disappeared instantly. If anything, this indicates they have some kind of mastery or exist outside the realm of the physics that govern our universe. Number 3. Commenter. Elsa Gate freaks me TF out. Theory that those weird videos on YouTube with Spider-Man and Elsa are actually conditioning children to trust predators. I know that sounds really stupid, but holy shit, you have to read about it. It's crazy and I honestly think it's true. Person B. Realistically, it's probably a combo of people who get a kick out of shocking children/parents and pedophiles scouting young children. A lot of people think it's mostly the latter. These videos are easily identifiable, attract children, and the shock/gross factor makes children more likely to comment. So it may be as simple as pedophiles post these videos as a way of easily grouping contactable children together. You can just open YouTube and find any number of these videos with a whole new set of kids to pick from any time you want. There's a similar problem with music.ly. Anywhere kids congregate, pedos are certainly lurking. Some people think it's more organized than that. There's always a bunch of weird comments on these videos and some people have taken a crack at translating them. Person C. A lot of conspiracies are surfacing that the scrambled nonsense comments aren't kids typing random letters, they're just heavily encoded locations. The videos these types of comments are on often feature some weird borderline sexual stuff, and a lot of people are concerned there might be some circle underneath all of this. Number 4. Commenter. It's quiet in space because something incredibly evil and horrific is snuffing out advanced life once it starts colonizing other worlds. Person B. It doesn't have to be evil, just intent on surviving. Any civilization that is capable of traveling between the stars at near speed of light is in control of energies that could easily destroy all life on a planet, possibly even capable of disrupting a star so that all life in that solar system is wiped out. All you have to do is hit it with a sizable mass going near the speed of light. It will actually be capable of doing this some time before they are actually able to travel between the stars, as moving a big chunk of uninhabited rock is going to be a lot easier than moving something that can keep biological entities alive during that journey. This attack would not be stoppable. In fact, the target would probably not even see it coming, as the light reflected from the projectile is not going much faster than the projectile itself. Now, consider this. Your civilization is that advanced. You may not be able to visit other star systems yet, but you can send probes at relativistic speeds. Then, you detect radio signals from an alien civilization 100 light years away. They are a lot like your civilization was 500 years ago. Neat? No, they're an existential threat. You know that, in 500 years or less, They will be able to exterminate your species, and there's nothing you could do to stop them. Maybe they will be peaceful in 500 years, but maybe they won't. There is a non-zero chance that, if allowed to advance, they will cause the extinction of every living thing in your solar system. Can you take that chance? Especially since they will be thinking the same thing. One can easily make the argument that it's wrong not to remove the danger to life as you know it. Most would agree it's okay to kill a creature of another species if it's endangering your life, as would most agree that it would be right to exterminate a species that was threatening to make your own species extinct. These aliens are not related to you at all. You're closer related to a bacteria than to these beings. As caretakers of not just your own species, but all life on your planet, it's your duty to protect it. Personally, if Earth was in that situation and there was a leader that was hesitating to destroy the newly discovered aliens, I'd support violent rebellion to install a regime that would do what's best for my planet. Number 5. We are all just code in a simulation being run by a far more intelligent species who is trying to determine why humans died out long ago. They run the simulation to cover millions of years to pinpoint the moments where we went wrong and to learn why civilization crumbled to prevent the same fate from taking them. When we die, our code is either terminated entirely or is repurposed into another life in a form of digital reincarnation. Number 6. That social media information gathering gathers so much data on your personality that it allows effective social engineering, changing how you think, how you shop, how you vote. Which has a chain effect of you teaching the same things to your kids, family, friends, etc. Number 7. Commenter. Mattress firm is something more sinister and powerful than we could possibly imagine. Person B. The corporate real estate people at mattress firm who were authorizing new stores were taking kickbacks from the developers who built those stores. Possible that the entire firm's leadership was in on it. Right before that broke, mattress firm was sold to a South African retail group that subsequently fell apart due to its own internal accounting scandals and potential fraud. Many layers. Number 8. Commenter. That every UFO that has been reported is actually a part of one of the government's black budget secret programs, which get over $60 billion in funding each year. And that the government has created such a stigma around UFOs and aliens that it would be entirely feasible for them to create the ultimate false flag event, think 9/11 by 1 million, to make the populace believe there is an actual alien invasion happening. So they can either A. create a situation that would help pull the world together, or B. give them an excuse to pour hundreds of billions of dollars more into the military program without the people questioning it. Person B. I've seen a craft before and thought of this. If it was military, it pisses me off to think they're hoarding such technology. The one I saw was a wonder. It morphed, it sped off and didn't disturb the atmosphere. It didn't need fuel to do it and it didn't make a peep. The technological understanding you'd need to build something like this. I'm not sure we have it. But if we do, then holy crap, they're keeping some major tech from us that could change the way we live. Person C. I think it's a strategy decision more than anything, assuming it is the government. They won't release information until they have actually used it in action, because once it is released, all countries on the planet can see it and copy what we have done. There's one craft in particular that supposedly uses 2 nuclear fusion reactors to spin a mass of mercury so incredibly fast, 50,000 RPM I believe, that it actually causes the mercury to warp the magnetic and gravitational fields around it, reducing the g-force of the aircraft to a degree that it can turn on a whim without repercussion. I can't validate that's true, but I can say that our government has technology that we have no idea about, but it's kept secret for security. Person D. One of the steps for Project Bluebeam is the threat of a fake alien invasion as well. Basically, the goal is to scare people into thinking we are all going to die, making it easier for us to accept the New World Order. First step is to make people believe everything we know of religion to be wrong. This includes releasing falsified archaeological evidence and destroying important ancient historical sites with man-made earthquakes. Second step is the introduction of the Antichrist. There will essentially be a bunch of holograms in the sky over all major population centers, and these holograms will make a speech and then ultimately converge into one big hologram. The big hologram is the Antichrist. Third step is using extremely low frequency radio waves to have God, or other prominent deity of the culture, talk to everyone in their heads. Fourth step is in 3 parts. First, the fake gigantic alien invasion of every major city on Earth. Second, convince people who believe in God that God is coming to beam them all up to heaven. Third, F with everyone's heads by making things happen which seem supernatural and send people crazy words with the use of the extremely low frequency radio waves. Number 9. Commenter. That the rich elite have grown bored of mundane highs and delights and murder, rape, sacrifice and hunt humans for entertainment. They do it because they're so rich, they can buy anything they want and it doesn't satisfy them. They're attracted to morbid, disgusting and crude art, music and hobbies. Person B. Panama Papers, around 11 million leaked documents showing a lot of money laundering, tax evasion, money being secretly handed off to terrorist organizations, offshore accounts being used to hide crimes, including theft and at least one instance of rape of underage orphans. Lots of fun researching that one. Mostly all from the world's top 1% or government officials. Person C. You always hear about human trafficking and never about who is buying all these people. It's a scary thought that when people, especially children, are kidnapped and sold, they're really being shipped to the people at the tippy top of world governments. Person D. I 100% agree, and in fact touched on this in a book I wrote and put on Amazon, A Modest Proposal for the Dissolution of the United States of America. I have a whole section on how savage the global oligarchs are, such as discussion of the British pedophile scandal. Number 10. Commenter. That JFK was killed by our government because he didn't want to just be their puppet. Person B. My favorite JFK conspiracy theory is that Oswald was the lone assassin but missed, and in the confusion he was accidentally shot by one of his own Secret Service agents. The government covered it up not for nefarious reasons, but to protect the agent from public retribution. Person C. It's kind of scary when you realize that the president isn't authorized to access all government information because he is technically only a temporary member of the government, and the really secret stuff, and the behind-the-scenes work is overseen by the heads of organizations such as the FBI, CIA, etc. Person D. The way I understand it, it's not that the government wanted JFK dead, it's that the CIA wanted him dead, and they ultimately have final say for anything the government does. Person E. That is indeed pretty terrifying, but the lone gunman theory is also pretty terrifying if you think about it. Lee Harvey Oswald effectively and instantly changed the President of the United States by the pull of a lever. One man changed the course of history and the US president, instantly. The fact that a social outcast, somebody operating on the fringes of society, can wield such power is unnerving. Make sure to share your personal story in the comments below and have the opportunity to be featured in a future video. Also, if you like these topics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to continue seeing more content like this every day. See you next time.